Hi, I'm Ace Jordan, director of Silent Retreat,
Hi, I'm Trista Robinson. I play Rita in Silent Retreat.
and you are watching Sit Down with the 13th Wolfman.
Hey everyone, I'm the 13th Wolfman. You know who I have with me on Sit Down today? I have Ace Jordan. He's a co-writer, co-producer, and director of Silent Retreat. I also have Trista Robinson. Welcome to Sit Down, you two.
Hey,
Hi.
everybody.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
this is great. I watched the movie over the weekend. I love this movie. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the crazy review I did for it.
Loved it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Very nice.
actually, Trista was one of my favorite things about this movie. You
Aw,
know,
hear that?
Yeah.
Thank
he's like,
Nice
yeah.
stuff.
you.
I'm the best part of the movie.
I would never say that. But it's okay for you to say it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, I mean, if you want to, can you tell the people a little bit about what the movie's about without giving too much away?
Yeah, it's about a media company of six people, seven, there's one tag along, who go to an isolated lodge in the woods for a weekend business retreat. It's kind of like one of those booster rewards for them doing really well in their job, and they're going to have a couple meetings and then have the whole weekend to just relax and have a good time and mingle with their coworkers and try. It's kind of supposed to be like a bonding experience,
Yeah,
but
the movie's got a great tagline. It's a vacation, not a retreat.
yeah,
Or it's a retreat, not a vacation. Boy, I screwed that one up.
close, close enough. So, so the person who basically set up this retreat, this young lady right here, she goes missing one day. She goes for a hike and just never comes back. So we have no idea what happened to her. And the film is basically it starts off with a very simple plot of these people looking for her, going through the woods, going through the house, trying to find her, and then discovering that this lodge was remodeled from an old private children's psychiatric hospital, and it was shut down about 25 years ago from all these crazy experiments and stuff they were doing on the kids. So, and they think over the course of the events, they figure out that something from the past might have um, something to do with her disappearance. And then
Right.
there's a bunch of crazy shit that happens, and you got to watch the rest of the movie.
Oh no, it's yeah. You got to watch the rest of the movie because honestly, when I got this and I'm watching, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be another. This is going to be a hack and slash,
Hmm.
but it's not. It's definitely a psychological thriller. Um, and it falls really deep into that vein, and I just loved it. You know,
Yeah, the cover is pretty gory, but the
I,
film
I,
the film
I
actually isn't incredibly gory. There's only a few scenes that are really intense, and the rest of the movie is more of a mystery.
yeah, I love that cover. I thought that was the coolest thing, and you said that you actually have that box. That's on the cover.
Oh yeah, the music box is in the background from the film,
Yeah,
and there's actually a severed tongue. Well, it's fake-ish.
I'm hoping it's fake.
You see the cops bust in.
Yeah, no doubt. So
Interesting.
Ace, I know that you and two others have written this movie together.
Yeah, it's based on a short story called Shattered, which is about I think five or six people that go. They just go to a creepy lodge and a bunch of crazy stuff happens. And those characters from that original short story are the characters in Silent Retreat. And some of the events in the short story are in the film, but there are some major differences. And I think the main difference is that the villain has two personalities in this one. In the short story, he has many personalities. And we may explore those other personalities in future films as well.
I would love to see that. I would. This is definitely a movie I want to see a sequel to. You know,
I'm working on it. Hopefully the movie makes enough money that we can justify a sequel. So
are all the writers involved with with the idea of a sequel?
I'm actually thinking that. Well, I'm actually thinking that the ending for the sequel will be the original ending from the short story.
Oh,
So there is going to be, for sure, elements from the short story that pop back up in the sequel, but I have not determined yet if they're going to be fully involved in it with writing credits or not. So we're still working that out.
okay.
I hope they participate because I think it adds a level to the story.
So, Trista, just making sure I'm getting your name right. uh, you've been in a lot of movies and you've played a lot of different roles. What's the toughest role you ever had to do?
Oh man, that's a good question. Hmm. I I learned sign language for a movie, and that
Yeah.
was very challenging. Yes, and very scary. I was very nervous about offending people and being able to represent that community in a responsible way. So that was like a huge fear of mine. Um, and I hope that I did a good job. So that was very tricky. Um, but this role certainly had crazy hurdles and challenges as well. I didn't really understand Rita um, at all when I first read it, and and in fact, I first auditioned for Megan, or was going to audition for Megan, and then I asked if I could read for Rita because she was so intriguing, and I didn't understand her or her motives or where she was coming from, and so that was a huge challenge for me to like try to figure out who this person is. Um, and I was still working on that while we were shooting. Like, what does she want from these people? How does she relate to them? Why is she acting this way? Like, she was very strange to me, and so I was drawn to her. I'm very drawn to strangeness.
Yeah, the movie you're talking about with the sign language, you signed the scene I remember the most is like you signed something like "Let me hear music once before I die."
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a scene in the movie.
yeah.
Thanks for watching that.
Can
I
you
like
do the rest?
movies.
Can you do the rest of the interview in sign language?
I
um,
wouldn't understand it.
When I say something, can you translate for the people?
Oh, I wish I
That would be
could.
cool.
Well, you're setting me up for failure,
Oh,
Ace.
sorry. When we were doing the behind the scenes interviews, I don't think you had met the story writers before, and they had both said out of all the cast, Trista or Rita was like the one who literally just walked out of the story. She was like exactly what they had imagined her.
What a huge compliment, since it took me so long to figure out the character.
So,
That
are you
feels.
are you a method actor? Are you one of those people that's got to get into the soul of the character?
I hesitate to say I'm a method actor because I draw from so many different wells. I use very different techniques for every single
Okay,
role that I tackle, but I'm definitely intense, if that's what you're asking. Like, I'm a little
okay,
intense when I'm
yeah.
working. Yeah.
So you're not a method actor. I mean, like Robert De Niro. I know that like if he goes out and gets a role, he's got to go hang out with someone that's like that in order to get into it. You know.
Yeah, I do all different things. It's weird. I don't subscribe to one thing. Like when I was working on The Human Race and I was playing the deaf woman, I attended deaf church services. So I did, in a way, immerse myself. And I have some deaf friends, just coincidentally, that I spent more time with, and they helped me a lot. So I do explore things as much as I can. I just don't like with a silent retreat. I painted a lot. It's just always different. I never know how I'm going to do it. I painted all these paintings like from the character. And I don't know if that's a specific method that people teach. I thought I made
Right.
it up, but I'm sure it's a thing.
I thought one of the paintings looked like a volcano.
They were, and I think it was because she was repressed. So I found myself painting all of these like volcanoes that were eventually erupting. I hope
Wow,
this makes
I
sense
like it.
outside of my mind right now.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Um,
Thanks.
I,
Ace,
yeah,
with the movie, with the ending of the movie, I know a few people that got a little confused.
it happens.
You know, with the flashbacks.
Because there's two different types of flashbacks, so I think that might be a little confusing to some. Do you want me to explain any of that?
No, no, I mean we don't want to give away anything, you know. But
Okay.
I just, uh, I just thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah,
I know.
I remember you mentioned something in the review about possibly doing the flashbacks in black or white, so there's some sort of visual separation.
Right.
And actually, if you go back and watch um, that particular flashback, I don't want to give anyone any spoilers, but to put it into black and white, you have to desaturate the colors at 100%, and I actually desaturated that scene at 25%. So it is partially black and white.
Okay, so the colors are muted a little.
They are. Maybe it's not enough for most people to notice, but there is a definite desaturation between those two scenes.
Oh,
If it
you
helps.
got me curious now. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again.
I tried
Yeah,
to
me
keep it
too.
subtle, and one thing I tried to do, which I don't know if this is as common, because a lot of times, like you said, flashbacks are told with like a blue filter or a black or showing it in black and white. And what I
Subtle.
tried to do was to use props and wardrobe to symbolize that it was the day before. So if you see one of the characters is wearing the wardrobe from the day before, and also right before that scene, there's the introduction of the rifle, which you see in the flashback.
That's
So
that's that was the reason. Yeah, that whole introduction of the rifle is the reason it didn't
so
bother me so much because I was like, oh, okay.
yeah, I tried to use a prop as the connection between the flashback in the same way the other flashbacks have the tape recorder that links those scenes together, and that one flashback had the rifle prop, which kind of brought it full circle, I think.
Okay, but yeah, like I said, now I got to go back and watch it again because you say it's desaturated by like 25%. So I'm gonna have to look for that now.
Yeah, and the scenes with the little boy at the psychiatric hospital, they are also desaturated, but desaturated less than the one scene with Rita. So there's actually three different grades on the film based upon different times.
Yeah, I got that between the kid in the present, but you know,
That is just very slightly desaturated, so you probably don't even notice. It's supposed to kind of trick your brain. You see it, but you don't recognize it because there's a lot of subconscious elements to the film. So I put in little tiny things that you pick up on, but you don't really pick up on. You have to be really nitpicky.
Or
I'm not that.
observant.
I come from an editing background, and I'm like super OCD. I see everything like that. So to me, it's like obvious, but most people watch it and they don't see it. And there's probably a lot of things when I watch a movie I don't pick up on the first time.
Right, that happens to everyone.
I noticed movies with twist endings. That's the one bad thing about them is that they're not the same experience the second time around. So with this one, I wanted to leave a lot of stuff hidden. So when you do, if you like it and you do watch it again, it's a new experience where you pick up on things that you hadn't seen before.
That's cool. Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Uh, so, Trista, I want to ask you about a different movie. I know that you made a movie with Jessica Cameron,
I did, yeah. She's a friend of
Utero.
mine.
She's a friend of mine too.
Oh.
I've had her on. I've had her on her a few times.
I know. I watched a portion of it. I didn't have time to watch the whole thing. I'll watch it later.
That's okay.
But
But
yeah, I
yeah,
saw her last week. She's a great friend. I just had a small. That was mostly her movie. I just had a small role. I was on for a couple days. Um, and I think Brian Coyne directed that.
yeah.
Who's also a friend of mine who produced The Human Race as well.
Now that's something I didn't know. Okay, cool.
I don't think that was your question. Sorry, I
But
hijacked.
no, that's okay. But I know that her Jessica's fear is spiders.
hmm
Now, are there any phobias you have in your life that you wouldn't mind approaching in film?
I do have a fear of mermaids. Um,
Okay.
that I could approach in film. But I'm getting like anxiety right now thinking about doing it.
What about mermen?
I had a dream when I was a kid. I'm going to try and make this brief. That there were these fake mermaids at like Disney World or something, and then I discovered they were real mermaids. So as my punishment, they kidnapped my dad and tied him up and made me gather sticks and put nails in them and bash him over the head with it. And he had all these bloody holes in his head. So ever since I was a small child, I have a fear of mermaids. Even walking down the street today, I was like, it's so ridiculous. Why am I afraid of mermaids? Like, it haunts me. So, yeah, you know what? I would like to make a movie with scary mermaids, because I always feel like it's a little deceiving how lovely they always seem in film. I don't think that is the case.
There's your next movie, Ace.
I think we should make that. I actually have a fear of water, or large bodies of water.
Agoraphobic?
In particularly the ocean. But I don't particularly have the mermaid thing, but I'm not afraid of them, but I've never really trusted them either.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're up to something.
Well, I mean, they're half fish, half human. Come on.
How did that even happen? There's something not right there.
If any mermaids are watching, I think you're lovely.
Oh, okay.
It's for all the mermaids.
We do want mermaids to buy the movie. We apologize if we offended anyone with
flippers.
To the
Flippers guilds.
To the American Civil Flippers Union.
We're gonna get emails.
The whole fish person community. We're gonna have to go on a apology tour.
That's an interesting fear. I wouldn't mind seeing that movie though. Scary mermaids.
Yeah. I think we just came up with something, guys. That's gold.
I think someone's probably already gonna start working on it
Steal
before
it
we
right
get
now?
to it.
Can we begin?
I take a while to do stuff, and it's probably gonna be out before I even finish the script.
So you guys know horror. There's no scary mermaid movies, huh?
Not that I know of.
There was that merman in Cabin in the Woods.
I remember Cabin in the Woods. I don't remember the mermaid.
He shot out blood through his blowhole.
That sounds amazing.
She's like, cool.
I'll watch that later.
Well, we have the trailer with us. Would one of you like to introduce the trailer?
Yeah, Trista would in sign language.
Stop it. I wish that I could in sign language, but I can't. So here is the trailer for Silent Retreat.
Enjoy.
I'm worried about Rita. She hasn't come back yet and she's been gone all day.
Has anybody seen Rita?
Investigators baffled by brutal crime at a private psychiatric hospital in the mountains near Tealon Lake. According to the police report, most of the girl's tongue had been cut out.
Where is everyone? Shouldn't they be here by now?
Welcome to Tealon.
Not bad.
Yeah, they're still in the process of remodeling, but the whole interior is brand new.
Where did you get this?
In the attic. This place used to be some kind of mental hospital.
I'm not looking for Rita. I'm looking for you. Tell me who you are.
What, you could have a conniption fit or something?
Hello?
What happened to her?
Oh, God!
Well, I'm not doctor, sir!
She's gotta be here.
There's something not right about this place. This this isn't a vacation, Zach. It's a retreat.
So that was the trailer. I do want to thank both of you for coming on. Is there any place where people can find you, on the internet if they're looking for you?
I'm like everywhere.
Okay.
Just Ace Jordan, right?
I'm at Facebook is / Jordan Film. Instagram is or whatever or Ace Jordan Film on Instagram and Ace Jordan Film on Twitter.
I'm not on Instagram, but you can search me on Facebook or Twitter at Trista Robinson. Yeah, please do.
Yeah. I'm following you both on Facebook and Twitter, so.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool, we appreciate it.
And I just want to thank them for coming on. I say go out and see this movie. I loved it. I give it 3.5 chainsaws out of 4. So if you can, go check out Ace Jordan Silent Retreat. With that, I'm the 13th Wolfman. I'm on the prowl.